the Vice Chancellor, we are going to rename the UGC HRDC into UGC Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Center today. There is a reason behind it. The UGC has communicated to us on 5th October to change the names. You all joined the course on 4th October. The course will be over on tomorrow. That's why today we are changing so that the next batch of teachers may get the certificate in the name of Malaviya Mission. Yes, sir, disturbing. Half an hour. 1 minute, I will put it off and then start, sir. Only for the starting time. We requested our esteemed Vice Chancellor to rename this, Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Center for this particular program. We requested our Professor Raju Jain, the Director, Culture and Cultural Relations of University, to preside over. You are all for the past 2 weeks witnessing the HRDC activities. Whether the University Grants Commission gives money or not, our Vice Chancellor is very keen to go all the programs as scheduled. He is funding for that, and you are all here with us. For nearby HRDCs are conducting the programs online, stating that we don't have the funds. Especially Chennai, they locked down the HRDC due to want of the funds. Our colleagues from Madras University may know that. These are all happening now. This how the Vice Chancellor is taking care of the institution and the society for this matter. You can very well see how our Vice Chancellor is functioning. Day and night he is thinking of this development of the university, not only for the sake of the teachers, students at the university, but he used to focus on the entire nation. You may be knowing that the first project for the solar project, massive project, saving crores of rupees from the campus. While coming to the HRDC, you can see both the side, the solar ponds created by him. During this short span of 5 years, he was able to manage 14 buildings to this campus. Likewise, near about 400 faculties, got the CAS, new recruitment. Never happened in this history of the Pondicherry University from the beginning. Such a way for the non-teaching, more than 300 people, from the ad hoc to promotion, from temporary to regular. All these things will happen within fraction of minutes and seconds. Not that keeping on tracking and giving one day. No. If he thinks, if it is right, if it is genuine, immediately he is to attend and do things. He is in such a way helping this Gandhigram Rural Institute also as the additional Vice Chancellor. For the more than 1 year, he was looking after the Gandhigram Rural Institute also. Above all, he is the person who used to implement all the national policies without any hesitation. In this year, he has introduced this NEP 2020 in all our affiliated institutions. He knows each and every college of this jurisdiction, more than 96 colleges in the Pondicherry University jurisdiction. Andaman Nicobar Islands, normally Vice Chancellor used to go and stay for a while and come back. But he visited all the colleges, even till Car Nicobar and Mayabandar, very far away from Port Blair. That all he travelled and know what is happening at the ground reality. Likewise, for the past, today is the auspicious day for us. 16th October 1985 is the literal day for the university. The university was started on 16th October 1985. Today, so far we used to tell Lakshadweep is included in our jurisdiction, but no college was there. But this year, on 1st January, he has inaugurated 4 colleges there. That too, not just like that, he invited Vice President of India to inaugurate these colleges. Likewise, he is very keen to fulfill this mandate of this higher education is his concern. In that respect, he is with us to bless us and unveil this name board for Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Center, and also is going to bless us with taking group photo with both the batches, refresher course in mathematics as well as refresher course in social sciences. With this, may I request our esteemed Professor Rajiv Jain, who is our pillar of strength. He is immediate officer for the HRDC. Whatever the files we are taking to him, very meticulously used to guide us how to proceed, how get things done. At the last minute, on 3rd October, till 3rd October, we may not know how we are going to give the hospitality to the participants. Within a minute of time, he was able to solve the issue and appointed a caterer to provide food for this faculty members. With this, may I request our Professor Rajiv Jain to give the presidential address, please.
Thank you, Professor Pondicherry Ramlingam, for giving a brief, very brief developments which have taken place in last 5 years during our Honorable Vice Chancellor stay at this university. One of the points that implementation of NEP 2020, I was in that meeting where UGC President and Ministry of Education Secretary both appreciated Pondicherry University and the Vice Chancellor for the implementation of NEP 2020, not only in the university but in the affiliated colleges. It is one of the rare universities where in colleges NEP 20 has been implemented. And also the mega project for solar energy that has been undertaken in this university was appreciated by none other than Vice President of India. So there are many different projects which have been undertaken. Some of them was elaborated here by Professor Ramlingam, but there are much others which has been done. There are number of compensatory appointment has been done. Regularization of employees has been done, along with the appointment of non-teaching, teaching employees, officers and faculty members. Also, the development of hostels, renovation of hostels, providing better facilities to students there, extending from Andaman, Karaikal, Yanam and Mahe and up to Lakshadweep. In where Lakshadweep, Vice President of India himself appreciated the work of our Vice Chancellor being done that place. So overall, at the moment I am not having the list, so much of development has been taking place in the university. All officers, employees and teachers come to us and they say that we ask for them, say, please put up the demands. Earlier unions used to come that these are our demands. Now no union person come. But we ask them, come for some demand, we will do that. But no one now comes, all appreciate the work done. And similarly here I say, because Professor Panch cannot say about himself, he is so much of hard task master. Today we were some late coming here, so I was telling our Vice Chancellor that exactly at 3:30 all must be there and Professor must be waiting for us, because he do not allow us to late even a minute. Similarly, for the participants who are there, he take full, that he is very particular that classes are taken with full minutes. If it is 90-minute classes, it should be of 90 minutes. And he selects so much meticulously resource persons along with the coordinator of the subject that the participant get the best of the knowledge which is possible. So that HRDC today is being renamed as Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Center under the directorship of Professor Pancharamlingam. We are happy for that and thank you for inviting us. Thank you.
Now may I request our Director of Culture and Cultural Relations to adorn shawl to our esteemed Vice Chancellor by welcoming you. Now may I request our esteemed Vice Chancellor to unveil the virtual board here, and then real board is waiting for us in the entrance of the building.
My colleague Professor Rajiv Jain, who has always been a great support to us, and Professor Pancharamlingam, and all our faculty sitting here, senior faculty, as well as all these colleagues who have come from various different parts. It is a delight to come here. I've been telling that repeatedly in all programs, and whenever there is a program which is organized by HRDC, Professor Panch will bear me out that I am invariably there at either at the inauguration or at the valediction of that particular course. I make sure that I am there. Reason is that I am of the opinion that whatever good work we do or whatever best practices we are following, they shall reach far-flung parts of our country only through these courses. When you come here, interact with us, listen to the talks, which are very meticulously planned for every course, then, and when you interact amongst yourself, you discuss what are the good things which are being done here. I think this is what you take it from here to your own places, that this is something we are doing and this is something you need to do it there. So I am of the opinion that this is one of the best ways to popularize yourself or to do the advocacy of good work that you are doing. Why should we spend money on sending advertisements and then sending brochures and pamphlets and all that? I think you are our best ambassadors when you come here, and when you go and tell through your word of mouth, I think the message spreads the way we want. That's one. Now this is a very brief occasion where we are also doing this pleasant duty of renaming this. It's not new, let me tell you. When I started teaching in University of Delhi, to be precise, on 17th November 1976. That was the day I took my first class. And well, we were teaching, and then there were a couple of other faculty members in my own department there. Some of them had just returned from, one had returned from France, the other came from Germany, and one came from Belgium. So they were boasting that in Germany it is done this way, Belgium we do this. I said, very good, we are doing it there, but why are we not doing it here? That's the question. Have you seen that there are many teachers, when they will start writing on the blackboard, they will start from the top north end of the board, and by the time they finish their writing, it goes to the south. And the fellow who's writing, your board is very big, but the person who's copying in that small page would not be able to crisscross from north to south and south to east. He has to take notes in a meticulous manner. I said, then who stops you from doing this? But then the question came, where do we do it? How do we do it? Who's going to listen to us? These questions started cropping up. I'm giving you the exact chronology of the events which is leading to this. So, on many an occasion, I said that there are forums for teachers where they are doing B.Ed. They are taught how much loudly you have to speak, how big should be the letters, what kind of a notes you should give, what kind of material should be there in slide and all those things. But for college teachers, for university staff, there was nothing like this. They just get a gold medal in their MSc, BSc, whatever. And some, during those days, 76 I'm talking about, even without doctorate, people were able to get into the university services because of vacancies and number of other things. And if you remember, in 77 there was a program which was, you may not remember because some of you might not have been born, as I see. There was a program which came, duly approved by the UGC and Ministry. It was called FIP, Faculty Improvement Program. There were many faculty members, number was as high as 70%, who were without doctorates. So they said, we are doing this program to give leave to all our teachers who are without doctorate, to allow them to do doctorates at various universities. And when they do that, we will be giving them 3,000 rupees extra. Imagine, my salary at that time was 1,047 rupees. So 1,047 I'm getting, and if I get another 1,000 rupees extra, it was much more. So it will be a big boon for me, and everybody rushed in to do doctorate. When they came for this, the story is that there were many vacancies. Some of the youngsters like me, who were barely 21, got jobs, and we were called in. So then when we were teaching as youngsters, we had a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, that if I'm speaking this way, why can't he talk like that? Why can't he be so loud? He'll say, no, I can't speak very lightly. Why can't? If you have to fight and abuse somebody, you do it at the full volume. So in the class also it should be same story. So this is what it was. And when we went on and on, the point that I'm trying to highlight is that somewhere around 77 end, the thought started, and we used to have an organization called DUTA. If you have not heard of it, let me tell you, Delhi University Teachers Association. It was one of the most powerful bodies at that time, which will put across ideas and people would listen to it. And the best part of that body was we will have, can it take 5-7 minutes?
No, so you take one time.
So we would meet every last Friday of the month in an open hall. Anybody could attend. It was not meant for the office bearers. But the meeting used to be known as Extended Executive Council Executive Meeting of the DUTA. Office bearers would mainly speak. We would all be listeners. And many youngsters will go and listen to. That's how we got the practice of what is done in trade union bodies. So we listen to them, then at the end they will give some 10-15 minutes to talk. And once in 3 months there used to be a body. After this, it would be open to all, free for all. You could speak anybody, you could abuse anybody, whatever. So there I put up, and many other youngsters with me, that there should be something where teachers can be trained, where curriculum can be discussed, where latest in the academics can be brought out and discussed. But there was no forum. So they said, what kind? Why don't we do it? I remember there was a gentleman by name Professor N.K. Oberoi. He was a botanist. He's about 88 years of age, and he's the chairman of Hansraj College of Delhi University's governing body. Recently they celebrated some 75 years of their existence, where I was invited as a chief guest incidentally. It was a very pleasant meeting. Professor Oberoi did not remember that I was the one who deliberated this and discussed that we should have something like this. So we deliberated this in number of meetings, and ultimately it came, yes, there is a requirement. We need to have something like this. And Delhi University, I don't know how many of you have been there. It is not like Pondicherry, 800 acres. We barely have about some 110 acres of everything, law, botany, and our research performance, you all know, is superb. But the buildings are multi-storied, and if I have a lab, I will have a lab also. I will have my reserve area also there where I can put my things. There is nothing, no luxury like my sitting room, my teaching room, my tea room as we have it here. So we were all in a dingy atmosphere. there was no place where this could be started. And we had universities examination halls. We said it is not used throughout the year, so one of the halls can be used for this purpose. So we started holding preliminary meetings on what could probably be done for improvement of teaching. So somewhere around 1979 and 2 years it took, we deliberated what can be done, who can be invited, what should be the structure, who is going to fund. So Dr. Oberoi was he was the principal of this college at that time. And he was very ardent participator in this meeting of youngsters. There were many, I will not name. So Professor Oberoi said, yes, it is required. And ultimately, we all deliberated, managed, discussed, brought out a structure. And then a thing came out which was called CPDHE, very long name. It was called Center for Professional Development in Higher Studies, CPDHE. It came into existence. We requested the UGC. They said no funds, no money, nothing doing, manage with your own. So we said let's necessarily deduct 50 rupees from every teacher. And there was such a hue and cry, 50 rupees from every teacher. The salary was 1200 rupees, 1300 rupees, 50 rupees a month. So hue and cry, and ultimately Professor Oberoi went to UGC repeatedly. We managed something and they said CPDHE would be getting some furniture from UGC. That hall was reserved. Chairs were put, mics came, gradually, no computer incidentally. And the courses started designing. First was botany, because Professor Oberoi was a botanist. Second, next two courses were chemistry, where we participated very enthusiastically. So this way it started. This is the crux of these HRDC schools in the country. So then other things we started inviting from other universities, and TADA was a question, honorarium was a question. We started by paying 300 rupees initially, moved to 500 rupees. In 79, 80 I'm talking about. Gradually we said, no, it's peanuts, let's increase further and whatever. So the story goes on. It took a good concrete shape where subsequently the senior academics, we were a lecturer, young lecturers, nobody bothered to talk to us that you gave some ideas and this and that. All senior fellows were inviting. One of those was Professor Raja Mohan, I'm forgetting the name, whose son is Rahul Ram, Professor Mohan Ram. He was in the botany again. And he was one of those who led the whole story. Professor Tandon was another one in the earth sciences. They all got together, they framed the guidelines. What this center would do, how can they invite, how many can be invited, whether airfare can be given, first class travel, all those things which are there in your minds were worked out. And this center started working from 1980 onwards. Professor Mohan Ram is a great botanist, he's an FNA and very celebrated person. His son is Professor Rahul Ram. Why I'm talking about his son is, he was doing chemistry honors in St. Stephen's College where I was there. I studied there and was teaching. Rahul said to his dad that I am not going to go in for science. He was a very good drummer. He would play flute very well. Professor Mohan Ram's wife was a great violinist. So it came in genes and he was very great lover of music. Professor Mohan Ram said, nothing doing, you have to finish your chemistry honors. And he did finish his chemistry honors with very good marks. Went in for doing his doctorate, masters also, but with a lot of if and buts. He would skip classes, he would run away from practicals, but still he managed. Then after MSc, he told his father, either you keep me in your house or I'm going to run away. I am going to go into music. And then he started whatever, and during this time when President Mohan Rao was busy in this professional development schools, Rahul Ram developed such a good interest that from St. Stephen's he's picked up some good musician, 5 of those. They gradually formed a band called Indian Ocean. When this was being unveiled, there was a good music which was played. And I thought this music is going to be that we are all required to dance. I said, how come this music is being played now? But then that's one of the ways So Indian Ocean Band came into existence in somewhere around 85, 86. And then gradually in all the colleges, festivals, Indian Ocean Band was a must. And then gradually it picked up, it became a band of national importance. And now if you invite Indian Ocean Band for any performance, I think the charge, I will not tell you how many zeros you put. It's not very easy to get it. And now Rahul Ram tells his dad, I was in one of the 5 stars in Chennai, where I was staying for some meeting. And next day, Professor Mohan Ram, Rahul Ram and me, we were taking breakfast when Usha Uttab came. He said, how are you, this, that. And then she was cribbing. He said, Professor Mohan Ram, you are cursing your son that get into chemistry. Had he continued in chemistry, he would be what I am. She was saying, he would be this. And now he's a musician. He is whatever you have earned all through your life. All through your life, he's making it in 1 year probably, less than that. So that's the story. And Rahul Ram, if you have heard, he's right. He writes songs also, he sings also. He is the convener of this Indian Ocean Band. So this is a sideways development with this thing. Ultimately, it took a shape. So Center for Professional Development in Higher Studies was one. Then gradually it changed to Center for Higher Studies. Then a name came in Rohtak University. They said, this is a center for teachers training. Some TTE they put it. Then division came in between science teachers, art teachers, this, that. Ultimately, the name came. One more name was there in between. 2 more. Academic Staff College. One more name came in between. This is the chronology of this. Ultimately, it became Center for Human Development Studies, HRDC, Human Resources Development Center. So this stood for a long time. When I became Vice Chancellor here, that was the time they were thinking of closing down these centers. And I fought in the university. I said, if you close down, academic growth in colleges will stop. Because when college teachers come here for these courses, they come to know and they interact with some of the best experts. So they come to know the purpose of such courses would be to give a pilot's view of what is on in your own subjects. You cannot get into research at the age of 50 or 55, but you can certainly know what is the latest which is on in subjects. And this is what teachers started gaining. And they came to know this is what is on. This is what we can also do in our colleges. If not research, something else. So these are the ideas they were picking up. I said, if you stop it, then this kind of a wonderful growth will stop. So I persistently fought to the extent that even I was required to shout at my full volume. And they thought he's so vehemently opposing, let's reconsider. So instead of 4 weeks, it was brought to 3 weeks. Finally to 2 weeks. Again now they are thinking it should be raised to 4 weeks again. Because this is the best way we can develop our university education. So this is one which has come to this. And ultimately when this was a success, it is a success, let me tell you. All centers in our country, barring few, wherever people have gone and attended the courses, it is a success. I will not spend much time on this because all those who have attended would bear me out that when you attend and go back, you always say, well, I am a better person, I am a better teacher. I am not what I was before starting the course. So I am a better person as far as academics is concerned, and that's what ultimately our aim was. So this took shape, it went on. Then suddenly said, what is this Human Resource Development Center? Are we not human? Are we not developed? Don't we understand what is teaching, what is this? So they thought of a better name. Then in between, if you remember, last 5 years there was a scheme called tell them. So this project, Madam was one of the beneficiaries, Mr. Mumtaz. She got a big project. This project was given all over. Then a thought came, if we are recognizing Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya this way, why don't we give a permanent recognition to Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya? Of course we know BHU, which was started, was his brainchild. I will leave this as an exercise. How BHU was started, please read about it. It's a very interesting story. Then who laid the foundation of BHU? Not Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya. There was somebody else. Please read it. Excellent insight you will get into the minds of such brilliant lots. So that was done, and then what way BHU grew, it's a something to be read, to be believed. So read about it, I leave it, go to Google, there are enough sources. And who was Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya? If now I ask, probably 50% of you may not remember or may not know who Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya was. Freedom fighter, thinker, writer, everything into one. So they said, why not give that recognition? And this particular name they thought of, that HRDC centers or development in higher studies centers, being named as Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Mission Teachers Training Centers. This is how it has now come to this. I don't think there will be another change in the next 100 years. More than that, you don't worry, because we are not going to live on. When I teach chemistry to our students, there is a topic, if you have somebody has science background, there is a topic called periodic table. And there the listing is still 103, 4, 5, 6, 107 also has come into existence. 118 also has come into existence, which goes into the 5th period of the D block. People tell me, sir, what about when 111th, 12th, 13th, 14th will come? Where will you fit these in? I tell them, look, from 101st element to 104th, we took 70 years. The chances of remaining getting discovered are very remote, because when you go towards the heavier elements, the stability goes down. The danger of explosion goes up, fission goes up. So chances of discovering more elements will not be there, and if at all it is going to be there, there is a possibility it will take maybe 100 years for the next 2 elements to come in, 3 years, 3 elements. So will you be living for 100 years? Don't bother. Where will they be positioned? Don't worry about it. So whatever is there, we have positioned it very appropriately. 118th, yes, we have put it in a place. I'm forgetting the name of that element. That's about it. So finally, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Mission for teachers, for their training, has come to stay. It will stay as it is. Probably that is one of the reasons Professor Panch said, well, you unveil, they have put it on a granite and they have put it here so that nobody changes granite, nothing will go wrong for 100 years. So they are there to stay, right? So I am very happy that at least whatever we started in 79 with loud talking and shouting, ultimately has come to a level where we all are witness to a great occasion where we are recognizing Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya. His contribution we cannot measure, we cannot fathom in terms of our thoughts. Wonderful person. Had there been 3, 4 more such persons, probably we would have got 50 more universities of the kinds of BHU and DU and JNU. But that's it. Let's be grateful to Almighty that he stayed, he existed. He stayed and he thought of whatever is to be done. And we are grateful to Almighty that we are in our own lifetime repaying what Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya so very richly deserved. We are a witness to this and we are unveiling, we are putting this. I hope that spirit with which it was started transcends to every individual who is sitting here, goes into your minds, and if that goes, and 1% of that, if you can contribute and give it to your students, I think we would have fulfilled our cherished dream that we also were in academics at one point of time. We may not be there for too long, but we were there at one point of time. And let's hope that we continuously continue to serve academics in the right spirit, in this spirit with which Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya was here. I have taken a little more than what I should have spoken. I am without lunch, let me tell you. So I thought when there will be a signal, I will stop it. But this, whatever I have conveyed, I thought it's a must for all of you. You might not know about it, and you might not know about Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, which is equally important. I'm not saying there are not many greats. There are many, but Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya was one who deserved this kind of a recognition. We are rightly doing this. So let's clap for his contribution. And finally, I am grateful to Professor Panch and Professor Rajiv Jain for putting in some good thoughts about me, which I don't think I deserve to that extent. Thank you very much.
This opportunity to really thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who's been a phenomenal figure for this university. You know, the way he's been guiding the destiny of this university. I'm aware, that he's had a fantastic innings. When he spoke of the years, when the teachers training and all that started. So just to make a mention, when I joined as a lecturer in Karnataka for history, we never knew that we had to undertake an orientation course. The place that I came and did the orientation course was right here in Lospet those days. There was no infrastructure, and he used to be a faculty member.
In a rented building.
Exactly, sir. And with lot of thatch roofs, and believe me, friends, you guys are staying in a fantastic hotel, in a hostel. Professor Panch Ramlingam had taken a whole house on lease. And like in the hall, almost about 15-20 people used to sleep at that point in time. And when I was eligible for my first promotion, I was told to do a refresher course. I did not think of any other university, but again, the same place. I have seen what Sir has rightly said, the evolution of teachers' education. One point I would like to make, sir, I don't know, as leaders of higher education, I've always seen whenever school teachers are recruited, we always say you need to do a diploma in education. Earlier it was known as TCH. High school you will say B.Ed, M.Ed. Sir, in the higher education, sir, as soon as we do an MA or an MSc or an MBA, and some of us may clear NET or SLET, some of us may have an MPhil or a PhD. Of course, nowadays PhD has become mandatory. But when I was there, we were thrown into the classroom without actually knowing how to teach, sir. We did not know what a lesson plan was. We did not know, I will tell you, we did not know the difference between a curriculum and a syllabi. But we were thrown into the classroom after getting recruited. And when we came here for 28 days, the way Sir put us through the curriculum, we really realized, oh, there is something called lesson plan. I think what has happened today is a phenomenal milestone in history. And I'm confident that as long as he is there at the leadership, and also Professor Gurmeet Singh Sarji is there at the leadership levels, we will go ahead, sir. Something should be done for higher education, where at least one paper on how to teach or something of that kind, a soft core credit paper should be introduced, which will help those few people who may take up teaching in the future to actually become teachers, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for the award.